Hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgee Gamer here with another episode of Broken Sword. We've been on the case so far, we've tracked down the mysterious Khan to the Hotel Ubu. Now it's time to take the case inside. So we've got these two heavies at the door to take a look at first.
The man looked like an amiable Bigfoot.
Looks more like a big belly to me.
The guy looked just like a weasel.
Okay, I can go along with that now. Will we get any joy when we chat to them?
Excuse me?
Yeah?
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hurt.
That figures.
Custard pies, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
Okay,
You ever
interesting
meet a guy called Plantar?
summary of a clown.
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's.
Ooh, gallows humour there from George.
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No, I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay then. No, I don't.
Interesting.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
Nope.
Show him the
Do
greasy
you
tissue.
recognize this tissue? Think carefully now.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
I'm gonna have to hurry you.
ooh.
Time's up, so I'll tell you. It's a used tissue with a liberal dump of Bestheimer's number 12.
If you say so.
Okay, I think that just went over his head.
That is not a good idea.
I'm not sure why that's not a good idea, but I'll take your word
Shake
for it,
my
George.
hand.
Nah.
Oh, rats. Do you
Okay.
happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
Just I know often if you ask them about the people first...
See you later.
Not if you see me first.
Oh, waste. If you ask them about the people
Excuse
first,
me?
you often lose the option
Yeah?
to ask them about the other things.
Will you shake my hand?
Are you joking? Who knows where it has been?
It's been all over Paris. We'll
What
go
does
through
this
the
tissue
items
mean
first.
to you?
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. Take a good look at the substance it's smeared with.
You are sick. Very sick.
If you say so.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
No.
Well, there you go. Simple answer.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Hard labor.
So how come we're fine to show it to this guy but not the other guy? I
Do
don't
you
get it,
recognize
George.
the guy in this photograph?
No. I never saw it.
I'm looking for a clown.
Ooh.
Are you
Clue
trying
coming up.
to be funny?
No, I really am looking for a clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
Ooh.
Have you heard of
Burn
a guy
there.
called
You're not just
Plantar?
going to stand for that, are
No.
you, George?
That name means nothing to me.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you. I don't know it.
Can I go in? Get it?
the woman was obviously English. She had all the qualities of Boadicea, Elizabeth I, and Margaret Thatcher rolled into one. It wasn't a pretty sight.
Okay, I'm not sure what those qualities would make, but let's have a chat to her anyway.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Nice purple rinse there.
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobbard, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors
Americans
are
love a
honest,
bit of that
not
royalty
even
stuff,
God.
don't they?
I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath
Who's
that
Norman?
impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
You appear distracted, Mom.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
Exactly,
The
George.
Italian
Come on.
suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them
Oh
gangsters.
dear, we've hit the innuendos. Carry on, Broken Sword, now.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
Oh, that's
I'm
a bit
sorry
of
to
Broken
hear
Sword
about
humour.
your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. The wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was
How old
thinking
is
of
this
cutting
lady?
my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened to you last night?
Okay, we'll take the bait.
I was stricken, Mr. Stobbard. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd
What are
always
you talking
imagined it
about,
should be.
George?
The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Guess George has forgotten about the case for now. Okay, let's show her our photo.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented
Okay.
everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged.
What are you
Merlin?
talking about, George?
You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about.
Twisting the plot,
That's
anyway.
the man who spurned me.
Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Ah, Mr. Merlin, perchance.
That's him.
Oh yeah, just give it away, George.
Can you think of any use for this tool, ma'am?
I can think of someone I'd like to use it on.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
You do wonder how long George is going to carry that tissue around for. It'll come in handy at
I
some point,
just
I'm
couldn't
sure.
bring myself to use the buzzer on this dear lady.
I'm sure she'd rather enjoy it, George.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobbard. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman.
Literally just told
a
her
man of honour.
that he was a
You
murderer.
know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase.
He's a nosy one, is our George.
Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would.
And that's it. The conversation with the lady comes to an end.
I
Who have we got
recognized the
here?
guy. It was the Nobel Prize winner from the country whose name I couldn't pronounce.
Well, that'll be a fun conversation then, won't it?
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern
Just be
European
direct about
state.
it, George. Some unpronounceable
Yes,
East European
that is
state.
me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's
Do you
cut straight to the
recognize this
chase.
man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective.
Okay.
What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
But I'll tell you all about it. All right. Let's try the buzzer trick.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now, that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there.
Says George, who calls someone a gangster just because they're Italian and they're wearing a suit.
Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Nose?
What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
Oh, bet you
What
aren't
about
glad
the
to hear that.
mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Sounds like heaven.
What? So the guy's talking about a rounding up and extermination of entertainers, and
Have you
No,
any
George,
idea what
sounds
this
like
tool
heaven.
might be used for?
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me with wonder.
all
Do you
right,
know a guy
let's get
called
back on the
Plantow?
case.
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen
Good
enough
question.
of death to last me a lifetime.
Especially those clowns and mimes.
Sure you have. Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England. Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
Classic
I'm real glad to hear that.
British and American
You know,
English
it's
clash.
good to know you Nobel
Clash of the
Prize
pants.
winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Thanks for your help.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's our hotel clerk.
It was the register of guests staying at the hotel. There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
Okay, so that's where we need to go.
Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Oh, it was worth
What?
a try.
You are trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
That's it, George. Get aggressive with the locals.
The clerk wore a disdainful expression like he'd been born with it. I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I would like some information, please.
I'm
Je
conducting a
voudrais
private
un peu
investigation.
d'information.
I know only
Good
too
work,
well
George.
what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Okay, plenty to talk to this guy about. Let's show him the photo.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
It's Merlin, isn't it? Alias Khan, the clown.
I told you, I cannot tell you that.
All right, let's
Do
keep
you
on
have a
with
guest
Khan.
by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would
Kind
care
of already
to
asked
check
that.
the register.
I already did.
Alors, you know I am telling the truth. May Saint Armand strike me down if I lie.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I'd noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
Good thing you did, George, because I didn't.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Do you know a man named Plantar?
No, monsieur.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
What, George?
I'm
What are you
sorry,
talking
monsieur.
about?
I must have some form of unique ID.
That would be
You won't
a
find a
unique
more
form
unique
of
ID than my scar.
Well, there
I'm
you go.
sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats.
Rats. That wouldn't be a
What
form
do you
of
make
ID,
of
George.
this tool?
Stunning, monsieur. I bet you handle it like a professional.
We do.
Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
Yes, got to hold on to that greasy tissue.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is.
Yeah, it's just fine in my jeans pocket.
Hey,
It's good.
shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm
Who
of
would
his
do
hand.
such a thing?
Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure. About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
I'd
Ooh.
like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Okay, well, there we go.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
Okay, I don't quite get that, but see if we can go upstairs. Oh, we can. All right.
The sign on the door read 21.
It's not a very secure hotel if
door
they just let
was
people
locked.
walk upstairs, is it?
If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room. The sign on the door read 22. The sign on the door read 22.
Surely that would be if the
The door was locked.
register was correct, because that's what we looked at to get the room number, wasn't it? Okay, I think our lady here will help us.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Did I show you this photograph?
Yes.
Okay, whoops.
Would you distract the
Forgot
clerk
about
while I
that.
borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh, no. It's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
To
Scout's honor?
squat.
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What
just
were
a
your
turn of
parents
phrase, George,
thinking
come on.
of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to
Yeah,
get
I think-
into that
Okay,
room?
we'll let that one slide.
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
What's this English arrogance they keep talking about? I don't know where they get that
I
from.
say! You there! Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewellery for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
And off he goes.
Over to you, my dear.
Thank you, Mom. That's a very interesting walk, our hotel clerk has. Anyway, he doesn't seem to mind us going upstairs, so that's what we will do. Unlock the room, and off we go.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
Wait, it's the right key to the wrong room. Boy, isn't that all a bit contradictory, George? Alright, let's see what we got to look at here. Wardrobe?
It was a massive mahogany wardrobe.
Might be something
There
useful.
was nothing in the
later.
wardrobe apart from a vague, lingering smell of camphor.
Have to look that up later. Okay, nothing on the TV for us. Just got over here the bedside cabinet.
A cabinet stood beside the bed. The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did.
Okay, I guess that's a reference to something that I don't quite get. And now we got the window. Oh. Okay. Guess it's a pretty obvious hint that we need to go out of the window. Wow. Okay, bit of a vertigo-inducing scene here. Just casually slip our way into the neighbouring room. Right, let's get to work.
The cabinet had no drawers, just a single door.
Let's take a look.
The assassin had been too smart to leave incriminating evidence beside his bed.
Damn those smart assassins.
The bed was several times larger than the narrow cot I'd been given at the place I was staying.
Well, you should be living a more upscale lifestyle, George.
The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits.
Fancy that, a freshly made bed in a hotel.
It was the battered leather
Got it,
briefcase
George.
I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died. I searched the interior of the briefcase, but, as I'd half expected, it was empty.
I wish you'd expected it was half empty. Then you would have found something. Right, what else have we got to look at? We've got another wardrobe. Okay, let's go for the wardrobe.
The closet was a solid, impressive piece of antique furniture.
All right. Oh. Another door? No? Seems like there's two dots appearing there. But is it one for opening the door and one for closing the door? Okay. It's just this door, which I assume leads
It
to
was
the corridor.
Khan. I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
Maybe a feeling somewhere else in your anatomy that would send you running to the bathroom? Anyway. Here he comes.
As Khan opened the wardrobe, I was sure I was dead. But he grabbed his pants quickly and didn't even see me. I didn't usually spy on men getting changed.
Whatever you say, George. Whatever you say.
This guy was a killer, and I didn't want any surprises. He left his checkered pants on the bed.
It's a good thing he only came in for a couple of minutes. Okay, let's take a look at these checkered pants. Oh, they look a bit on the dirty side.
I had that kind of feeling you only get from searching still warm pants. The pocket was empty.
I'm not sure what that feeling is, George.
There was nothing in the pocket. A strip along the side seam of the pants had been unpicked, then sewn back up with strong thread and a special stitch.
Okay.
I flipped the pants over. I found an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. But as I pulled it from the pocket, a strong thread came with it. A thread with a metal tag on the end. I pulled on the metal tag and the thread came out of the pants. It was like pulling out a ripcord. I found nothing in the pocket.
Okay, so
I
is
turned
that
the
a
pants
strong
over
stitch
again.
from here?
I searched the pocket gingerly and found a pass card. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Okay, so why would he put something with his real or fake name hidden into his trousers, I wonder? His trousers look terribly dirty, it has to be said. No wonder he came back to get changed. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we've got an ID card, and the hotel clerk wanted us to show him some ID to get in the safe. Let's go to go.
What now, monsieur?
Do you recognize this key?
That is the property of the Hotel Ubu.
Correct.
May I ask how it found its way from the little hook to your pocket?
Would you believe it was put there by a poltergeist?
No, monsieur. The hotel is regularly serviced by an exorcist. If we had
Make
a
a dumb
ghost,
joke, get an even
Father
dumber
Fécond
comeback.
would have flushed it out.
I suppose you want the key back.
Not especialement. The room is vacant. Since you are so determined to conduct your little investigation, I won't stop you.
George there being a little bit like, hey, you wouldn't give me the key, but I got it anyway.
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that. A murderer? Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay, let's
Does
see if
this
we get anywhere
matchbook
with the
mean
matchbook.
anything to you?
No, monsieur.
Okay, maybe our good Lady Piedmont can help us.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
It's been very useful for us, this lady, hasn't she?
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has a million faces. I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George!
There we go, we'll just get this old English lady to do all the dirty work for us. Except for the, walking along the window ledge thing.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One
That's a
moment,
bit
please.
drastic.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
I don't know what you mean about Greenham Conham.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
All right, so let's make our way back to Nico's apartment then.
I couldn't leave the hotel with the manuscript. It was probably what those thugs were looking for.
Oh, George, you do like to make things complicated.
It was the ancient manuscript which Khan had stolen from Plantow. The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words Club Alamut. It was the card I'd found in the hotel bedroom. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Right, no new clues there then. I'm guessing the only thing to do at this point is to head back out here. So I'm guessing. I'm having vague memories of having played this before. Okay.
The cobbles of the alleyway looked very distant and very hard.
So this is how we get the manuscript past the guards, isn't it?
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
So I'll just drop it in the alleyway where they could easily find it. Oh, good thing that didn't go in the drain. Alright, there's no way for us to get down from here, is there? So back into the hotel we go. Seeing as Georgie's been such a wimp about the two goons, gangsters, crooks, whatever you want to call them outside.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido.
Calm
Zilch.
down,
Our
George.
apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
Okay, if you say so, guys. Okay, and there we go. We've got our manuscript.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
So, back in Nico's apartment is where we're going to leave it for today's episode, I think. Let's see what kind of conversation they have to kick off the next episode. But thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button if you've enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgee Gamer, and I'll see you for more Broken Sword adventures soon.